Okay, so let's start with the Omen one-way smoke strategies on Ascent. So basically, first thing that you need to understand is that in Valorant, we have two groups of one-way smokes. We have the regular one-way smokes, basically the ones that you're gonna see in every single video and everywhere on YouTube, basically. But also, in Valorant, we have something that I call a fake failed one-way smokes, and I'll be showcasing you strategies with both of these smoke groups. Like, these strategies are really advanced, really like big brain, and basically they will help you having higher chances of winning the rounds, helping your teammates, stopping the enemies. Like, there's a lot of different ways how you can use these one-way Omen smoke strategies. What's up, tricksters? My name is Charlotte, and your favorite all-time Radiant player in Valorant, esports pro player, and private FPS coach that improved hundreds of players in the last 2 years. And I'm here to improve you as well. Today, we're starting a brand new series on my YouTube channel, where I'm going to explain you some of the most powerful one-way smoke strategies for every single map in Valorant. If you'd like me to continue with this series, leave a comment down below which map I should cover next, and on 2000 likes, I'll be releasing the second part. Let's start with this advanced Omen guide, baby. One thing that a lot of YouTubers and these type of guides don't explain you is when you should be using these one-way smokes and for what type of a strategy. Because yeah, you can know one-way smokes and smokes for every single map in Valorant, but it is absolutely pointless to know like 50,000 smoke setups without actually understanding how and when to use them. Now let's start first with the A site and A main area of the map. So the first and the most regular smoke that you're gonna see in every single match is this one-way smoke here. Like, this one-way smoke is great if you want to apply pressure onto the enemies in A main area of the map. So basically this smoke I use like whenever my teammates are picking A main area, they're taking the control of this part of the map, this allowing the enemies to press forward, or maybe making enemies waste a few abilities to actually take this position right here. Now, on A site we also have this one-way smoke here, which we can use to stop the enemy's advance and enemies push to the A main area position. Like when the enemies have a lot of pop flash agents, high utility agents, it's a great smoke to delay the enemy's push. One more smoke that you can place, like this is a smoke for the bomb site. Like you can use this smoke like if you're playing this position, if you're playing this position here, like that smoke is great for all of these spots. This smoke here is great like for the players that are playing on the bomb site, but this smoke I also use when I need to support my teammate on the short area. So your ally from the short can actually use this smoke to F up the enemies there. So this smoke is great if your teammates are playing in this area of the map, this area of the map, around the generator, around the short area, and this smoke will delay the enemies and potentially allow your teammates to get maybe a few picks if the enemies push that smoke. Another one-way smoke that I love to use is supporting my teammates in the short area of the map. So basically, this smoke and this smoke are great to stop the push of the enemies to the short area of the map, allow your teammates to basically take free kills there if the enemies maybe even decide to push this angle and go all the way here. So basically, very good smokes to stop the enemy's advance there. If your teammates get pushed into the garden area of the map here, or maybe you get pushed here, like, I mean, you can use all of these smokes yourself. You don't need to use them for your teammates, of course. That's why these type of strategies are SoloQ strategies. Now, this smoke here, great. Muy bien, to be used from this position and also from this window position here to basically surprise the enemies and disallow them to push this area of the map. On A site, like beside these one-way smokes that I just showcased right now, we have those failed one-way smokes, like fake failed one-way smokes. These smokes are great if you're playing against the opponents that are smart. So these smokes are really the best if you're playing in a bit higher elo lobbies, because it will allow you to outsmart your opponents and basically make them think that you have failed your one-way smoke. So what am I talking about here? Now, one of the best examples of these fake failed one-way smokes is in the A main area of the map. So the regular smoke for the A main area of the map, like the one-way smoke, looks like this. And basically, I mean, if the enemies see this, like especially in high elo lobbies, usually they're not gonna push you. Like, if they peek you, they're absolutely idiots. Like, I don't know how to explain it better. But if we position the smoke slightly higher it will look for the enemies like we failed the one-way smoke. Like it's gonna be very like, you know, like weird for the enemies. Like basically, look this here. If we put it a bit higher there, like on that position, now the smoke for the enemies in the A main area looks kind of like a crap. Like if they peek this angle here, like they can still see there, that. Like when the tens sees this smoke, he's gonna be like, what the hell, bro? That is the whole point of this smoke. These smokes are great like when you're playing some of the elevated positions, and to place a one-way smoke for the specific position that you're playing at that moment of time. So for example, when you place this smoke up there, like this, this, now that is a one-way smoke for this angle. That is a complete one-way smoke for this angle. And for the enemies, it's gonna look like a crap. Of course, like it should be a bit higher, like it should not be looking like a regular smoke. It should be looking like you completely failed the smoke, like a bit higher up there. And that is the fake failed one-way smokes. Another example of this type of a smoke is basically this one here. Like if you position this smoke all the way up there, for the enemies, it's gonna look like absolute crap. Like, I mean, enemies are gonna peek you in A main area, and they're gonna be like, what the hell is this, bro? You know, like, I'm still able to see the enemies, peek them everywhere. But you can use this one-way smoke if you're playing on this position here. And now, if the enemies basically think that you failed your one-way smoke up there, you can easily kill them from this position here. So basically, one-way smokes should always be placed based on what your teammates are doing, where your teammates are playing, and where you are playing at that moment of time. Like, if you're playing on some of these elevated positions, it is much better to position these one-way smokes a bit higher. Before we continue, I'd highly appreciate if you hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications on. Down in the description below, you can find links to all of my other social media, and if you want to hire me as your personal Valorant coach to reach higher ranks as fast as possible, make sure to join my official Discord server and check out my ultimate coaching programs. Now, another position on which you can use these one-way smokes is this position here. So basically, when the enemies start pushing you, you can use the smoke here as a cover. Like if the enemies have the pop flash agents like a Sky, KO, Phoenix, like they're gonna usually use the flash close to the A main area of the map. And you can actually use it to cover up your eyes from the flashes and surprise the enemies from this position here. Now, when you're playing on the A site and enemies are pushing you from both short area of the map and A main area of the map, and you want to completely block the enemy's push through this area of the map here, you can use the one-way smoke all the way up here. And this smoke here is great not only when you're playing on a defender side, but also when you're playing on the attacker side. Like if you're playing some kind of a post plant and enemies are pushing you from that angle and that angle, basically you can use that one-way smoke, kill the enemies here, and these enemies cannot push you that easily. Now, one more very good smoke like for the post plant on A site, but also when you're pushing the A site is one-way smoke up here. So basically, you position the smoke on this pole right there, like it should be a red triangle, and voila! Now you have a one-way smoke for the rafters position up there. This smoke is great as a one-way experience in post plant, but also you can use this smoke as a replacement for the regular smoke when you're pushing the A site, like instead of this smoke here. The fake failed one-way smokes you can do in another way. They don't need to be extremely elevated. We can use them for a bit different strategies. Look at this now. So, let's say for example, enemies are pushing the A site. They are hyper aggressive, they're going changa, 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 langa, langa, banga. You want to surprise the enemies in a very unnatural way, and basically this is something that no one can expect, especially the players in the low ranks. You're waiting for the enemies to push you. You have only judge, like usually this type of strategy I'm doing in eco rounds and halbye rounds. You can use the smoke right here on this ledge there. And now, when the enemies are pushing the A site, you know, they're probably gonna think, oh, that is the one-way smoke for the short area of the map, blah, blah, blah. But actually, what you can do, you can play in the middle of the smoke where this little circle is. Because in that circle, enemies don't see you at all. And then, if the enemies are pushing the A site and they wanna go for the switch, they're gonna try to click the switch. Also, when you position the smoke here, like, you don't need to wait for the enemies to go for the switch. You can also maybe try to surprise the enemies from the smoke, because there is no way enemies are gonna expect you jumping out of the one-way smoke. I mean, that is a fake one-way smoke, but you get the point. When the enemies are pushing you, like, you can try to maybe teleport like behind them and do some kind of a 300 IQ outplay, but when it comes to the executes and outplays, I'll be making a, you know, like dedicated guides for everything when it comes to Omen, like executes, 300 IQ outplays, one-way smokes, regular smokes for every single map, etc, etc. In the mid area of the map, like what I love to do on a defender's side, I love to position the one-way smokes in the mid link and top mid area of the map, like when my teammates are peeking the bottom mid and my teammates are peeking the short area of the map. So if my teammates are doing this type of a peek and they want to take the mid control, I will always give them a one-way smoke on this side here. And that is basically the full one-way experience in that mid link area of the map. If my teammates are doing this peek maybe, I'm gonna give them the one-way smoke up here. And basically, that is a full one-way experience for my allies, and the enemies cannot peek them from top mid, or else they're gonna die, and the enemies cannot peek them from top of this box here. Like, of course, all of these smokes you can use for yourself, like, you don't need to use them for your teammates, obviously. When you or your allies are taking the control of the B main area of the map, you can use a one-way smoke up here. This is a great one-way smoke to take the B main control from the enemies and basically put a bit more pressure onto the enemies when they're pushing the B site. Now, in the B main area of the map, of course, you have a one-way that goes here, and you have the one-way that goes here. This one-way you can use like when you're playing from the stairs, when you're playing like from the CT area, from these elevated positions here, but you can also use that one-way when you're playing from this position here. You see, like, basically, if the enemies push you through that smoke, they are potentially dead. One-way smokes are usually the most useful when the enemies have a lot of pop flash agents, like Sky, KO, etc, etc. Like, that is when I rely on one-way smokes more than regular smokes. Now, on the B main area of the map, same as on A main area of the map, we have the fake failed one-way smoke that we can use to outsmart our opponents. So basically, instead of placing our smoke up lower here, where the red triangle is, we can place it all the way up here. And then, when the enemies are pushing the B site, you know, like, this is not really good smoke. I mean, I can easily peek it without any problems, and I can immediately get a gunfight with the enemies, and it doesn't look that good. But this is a great one-way smoke if you're playing this position here, to completely obliterate the enemies there and surprise them. So to make this smoke a bit more believable, like, you can put it slightly higher, like, for example, on this position here, and then when the enemies are pushing you through the B main area of the map, they're gonna be like,
what the hell is this smoke?
Now, on the B site, you have enormous, these one-way setups, really good strategies that you can use to defend the B site from the actual site. So, for example, let's say you're playing on this position, like you teleport up here, or you're playing that position. You can use a one-way smoke here, and a one-way smoke up here. And these smokes are great for defending enemies push in the post plant and also defender side when the enemies are pushing you from the stairs, or if the enemies are pushing you from that position there. You can also play this spot and surprise the enemies from this position. Muy bien, smokes. One more thing, instead of doing the smoke there, you can also use the smoke there and then use...
Mission failed.
Don't do it like that, like, no, that's not a good smoke. So basically, what I was saying, you can use the smoke up here, and then you can use the smoke here. Now, if the enemies are pushing you through there, they're gonna push changa, and then if the enemies drop down here to check this area or to check the site, oh no! You are up there, and you have the full one-way experience by this smoke. A few more one-way smokes that you can use is the one-way up here and a one-way up here. Like, this is a pretty solid one-way setup when you're retaking the B site. Like, if you don't have any idea where to use your smokes, like, you already have taken this control and you have two smokes available, why not? Like, you can block off the enemy's vision at the back of the B boathouse and just focus on fighting the enemies on the site and try to F them up. In the post plant, I mean, of course, like, you can be a bit more creative with your smokes. Maybe you can do a smoke here like this, and then you can play this angle here. Wait for the enemies to push you. They don't see you because of the one-way smoke there, and you can fight the enemies there, and if the enemies push you there, they are done. So you see, because of this stairs area, they don't see your legs at all. So this smoke another muy bueno smoke. And remember, these smokes are not only good for the defender side, but also the attacker side. Like a lot of players, what I see they do, they use the smoke here as their default smoke when they're pushing the B site and smoking off the market area of the map. That's not bad, like it's okay, like especially because with Omen you can create such a cool setups with different, you know, smokes. Like for example, when you're executing the B site, you can do your smoke like this, you can do your second smoke there, and then you can teleport below this smoke here, and then baba booey this enemy here, or maybe completely outmaneuver the opponents and F them up with this type of execute. But if you already want to support your teammates and you want to do some kind of a default setup, it is a bit better if you position here a one-way smoke, so the enemies cannot peek you in any type of a way to the market area of the map. So for example, doing the smoke all the way up here. Come at me, baby! Come at me! If they peek this, they're 100% dead. Like, I mean, already here, you're seeing their feet. You're able to, you know, see their PP and baba booey. Also, you can use this smoke in a post plant. Like, for example, you know, enemies are pushing you from the market, from the CT area of the map. You can use that smoke. You can use this smoke here. What can you do, baby? That's why I love Omen. That is why I have switched from Jet to Omen. Basically, Omen is the Jet on steroids right now, because Jet has been nerfed, like the dash is not that powerful as before, and right now Omen is the S+++ tier agent in Valorant, like if you want to climb the SoloQ ranks. And in my coaching sessions, like 60% of the students that I've coached on Omen reached 7, 9, 10 ranks higher than they were before with other agents. Like these type of setups are what makes Omen so powerful. And definitely like not only that you can be passive as I showcase you here, but also you can be hyper aggressive duelist that is outsmarting opponents in different ways and taking map control like an absolute gorilla. And that's it for today. The second part of the one-way smoke strategies will be released when this video reaches 2,000 likes. And down in the comments, make sure to tell me which map would you like to see next. Meanwhile, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, check out my twitch.tv/charlatan channel for some live tips and SoloQ shenanigans. Join my official Discord server if you want to improve like hundreds of other players with my professional coaching programs. And down in the description below, you can find all of my other social media. I'm yours, one and only, Warden of the Tricksters community. Thank you for watching and cut, baby!